Dragon Ball Project Multi releases literally tonight or tomorrow, depending on where you are in the world, and I am super excited for it. The Twitter's been giving us concepts and characters they're releasing and what role they're going to play, so let's get into that. As always, make sure you do like, comment, subscribe, and let's figure out who we're going to main tomorrow. Alright, our first character here is Super Saiyan Goku. He is a damage type character. His concept is he uses Kaioken to power up your active skills. Overwhelm any opponent with your heightened strength. He has a passive called Violent Rage. Temporarily damage boosts an enemy hero who recently defeated an ally. Increased target detection on target as well. I feel like that's not labeled right. And then he has a transform which requires you to be level 7 and up. I feel like that's not labeled right. His passive, temporary damage boost on enemy hero. I feel like you do a temporary damage boost on an enemy hero if they recently defeated your ally. So kind of like how when Goku got mad about but basically the reason he went Super Saiyan when Frieza blew up Krillin, I think that's kind of the thing, and you'll do more damage towards that particular enemy. So definitely pretty cool ability for sure, especially if it sounds like he's going to be great with a teammate right beside him. If that teammate just absolutely sucks, it feels like this is going to give you your way to come back from that and way to kind of revenge play that. So could be a lot of fun for sure. All right, our next character is the boy Krillin himself. He is a technical style character. His concept is he will make use of strong traps and diversions, then finish off debuffed enemies with a destructive disc. He has a passive called Technician. Place a mark on an enemy to immediately lower the cooldown on your abilities. I don't know what the mark does. Again, we're only given just this little bit of information. I do, however, think the technical characters are basically going to be your support characters. They kind of just help out the attackers or relieve the tanks if they're in trouble type deal. They're going to be the people who are kind of in the back, but not fully in the back, because you want your attackers in the back. And I feel like Krillin's going to be fun in the sense of being able to set up certain things to keep people away from other objectives. Like I said, it makes use of strong traps, so I'm curious on what other traps it could be, as well as it feels like they'll also still be able to do damage. Like it says finish off debuffed enemies with destructive discs. So I'm wondering if they have a debuff from Mark. I don't know if Mark gives them a debuff, if that means he can then destructive disc and it do a lot more damage if they're debuffed. So Krillin seems like an interesting character, definitely one to keep your eye on for sure. Alright, next up we have the boy himself, Piccolo. He is a damage type character. His concept is all rush attacks and active skills have a super long range. The power of Special Beam Cannon increases the longer you charge it. And his passive is Ready for Victory. Use a rush attack on an enemy to immediately lower the cooldown of your abilities. So the rush attack, this is the first time we've actually heard this, so this gives me the idea that rush attacks are going to be kind of like, I don't know if you've ever played if you've played Budokai Tenkaichi, maybe that little rush attack where they're like going at each other and you got to press a button so many times. I doubt you'll have to press a button. I'm not quite sure how those will actually work on who wins those. But it is interesting that they do have rush attack, or if it's just an ability that they have that is a rush attack, but it then, like, if he uses the rush attack, it'll also lower the cooldowns on his other abilities, because it shouldn't lower the cooldown on his rush attack ability, because if it does, then you can just use that over and over and over, and it get really annoying. I do think it's really cool that they make it where a Special Beam Cannon is kind of kinetically correct, if I'm even saying that right, in the sense of the longer you charge it, the further it goes. I guess it's not necessarily like kinetically correct, but it is a lot more powerful. Oh no, that is what it says. It says the power of the Special Beam Cannon increases, not the length. So sorry, but it does say his active skills are super long range, so it does tell me. I'm wondering if Special Beam Cannon is almost going to be like a snipe across map, which would be really cool to snipe somebody across map who's like at half health. If you can Special Beam Cannon, charge it long enough, and then you go bah, and just snipe across range. That'd be a really cool ability. So I definitely think Piccolo would be a fun damage dealer for sure. The character no one expected had to be Zamasu, and here we have obviously a full laid out of him. He is a tank. His concept is body regeneration and can bring you back after being knocked out. Use it to stir up chaos in the enemy's team territory. And then he has passive body regeneration. Consume a regen gauge to automatically heal life. Resurrect when KO'd if gauge is high enough. So it's pretty much like Zamasu can't be killed, especially if he plays it right in the battle. He pretty much has a guardian angel at all times. If you've ever played League, you know what that is. It's an item that just brings you back to life after you've been KO'd, basically. And to be able to do that in the middle of a fight, especially as a tank, he can go in. If he has a full gauge, he goes in, engages with them, gets taken down, but people are focusing on him as the tank. And then all your damage dealers are doing damage. I'm wondering how much life he does get brought back with, though, because that's an interesting thing. If he gets brought back with half-life, full life, or just a little bit of life, it's really going to matter, because with him being a tank, it means he's already going to be able to take a lot of damage in. And if he gets brought back at full life, that means he's still there causing havoc, which is going to be crazy. Like, Zamasu is going to be one of those characters that will be a ton of fun, especially, like, he'd be a top laner in most MOBA games, and definitely in my contentions for wanting to play as him for sure. Like, I'm definitely want to play as some damage dealers, but as a tank, he looks like he will be absolutely fun. It's like, you can dive in, come back. You know how many times I dive in a MOBA game and just be like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. Well, now we have the option to do it and still come back. All right, everybody's favorite girl, Android 18, a damage dealer. Her concept is boost your damage against targeted enemy with sadistic rush. Hunt down the enemy team one by one. Passive, sadistic rush. If you hit the same enemy 4 times in a row, they will become your assault target, boosting your damage against them. She's an assassin. So if there is a jungle, 18 will be your jungler, because she wants one-on-one fights. She doesn't want a team fight. She wants that one-on-one, come at me, I'm going to beat you type of brawl. She is very much a, like, just go at them, get them. Like, this girl right here is going to put a lot of people in the dirt because they're going to think they're high and mighty. And then Android 18 is going to pop out with a 1v1 against you and absolutely wreck your day. So be on the lookout for Android 18. You see her by herself, do not go fight her if you are by yourself as well. I highly advise against it. Stay away from Android 18. Alright, now we have Super Saiyan Trunks Adult. They did specify adult, which does tell me that there's probably going to be a kid version at some point. His concept is continuously launch active skills with overcharge. Take down enemies with a hit and run tactic. His passive overcharge. Get a KO or an assist on a God of Destruction, enemy hero, boss, or super boss to immediately reset the cooldown on your active skills. So with Trunks, he is, if you've ever played Kha'Zix, that's what it feels like he is. If you get a kill, an assist, or a Kali in League, either one of those, you get a kill or an assist, all of your abilities reset immediately. And now you can basically go back and combo again. It doesn't feel like he's the assassin part of that. It just feels like he can continuously get resets on his moves. He is a damage dealer, and he also does have a transformation at level 7 and up, where he becomes Super Saiyan. I'm very confused why they gave him Super Saiyan Trunks as the title card here, but Goku down below, they gave him just Goku with the Super Saiyan transformation, so it makes me wonder, can you immediately select Super Saiyan for this? That wouldn't make any sense, especially with it saying it requires level 7 and up. So I am curious on how that's going to work, but I think this guy is going to do a good bit of damage, and definitely someone you're going to want to take out before he can get an assist and reset all of his abilities and continue to go at you. In team fights, this guy's going to be a monster. All right, Majin Buu good, which also, again, tells me that there will be an evil Majin Buu. There will be possibly, obviously, Super Buu, Kid Buu. But the fact they specified good tells me they have a minor chance of putting evil Buu in the game at some point. But his concept is to turn enemy heroes into tasty snacks with a candy beam. Use it to restore your and your allies' health. His passive, Majin Menace. When healing yourself or an ally or debuffing an enemy hero, consume acquired stocks to boost damage to your rush attacks. So, again, a support. He is a technical character, another support. I think this guy being another technical, he's going to be a fun support character to play on the team. Like it says, it heals himself. It heals your ally. When you turn him into candy beams, I just wonder how much damage that does. How much does it actually heal? And then it says, consume acquired stocks to boost damage to your rush attacks. What does that mean? Like, a lot of people, I did think, assumed this would be a good tank character, but he's not. He's a full-blown come at you, like, a support character, which I mean, it makes sense. He could probably be a good support tank. A lot would guess, but I do think this guy. I think the technical characters will be a lot of fun. In the sense of it won't be your normal support. I do think they'll still do a good bit of damage, especially with this. After he heals somebody, he still boosts the damage of your own rush attacks. Majin Buu is going to be one of those supports that are going to be very interesting to watch out for. Next character we need to talk about is Kohler. Probably the guy nobody outside of Zamasu would have seen coming to this game, especially before his brother Frieza, which is kind of crazy. But he is a tank. His concept is use Imperial Retaliation to go for a counterattack. Your powered up active skill will be a cut above the rest. So his passive, Imperial Retaliation, applies immune to all to self for a short time when activated. When an enemy hero lands an attack during immune to all, your next skill will be enhanced with retaliation status. And then he also has a transform final form requirement level 7 and up. So pretty much whenever you have this Imperial Retaliation and you're immune, your next attack becomes empowered, which is interesting for a tank because you can become immune to all. The question is, how long does it last for? As well as does it only last for one of your opponent's attacks? Because if it lasts for just like if it lasts for multiple attacks, that makes Cooler very, very, very broken. But if it lasts for just one attack and then he can retaliate back, also what's the cooldown on it? Because if the cooldown's pretty quickly, as a tank, you can stay in there, get counterattacks, get hits. He's going to be great for top lane and being able to just fight. Like one-on-ones, you may not beat this guy unless you are a high damage dealer who can melt a tank. So be on the lookout for Cooler Final Form. That's a very interesting concept, especially for a tank. Just be happy he's not a damage dealer, but something tells me he's still going to hurt you if you find him. All right, the one character we saw during the trailer that was interesting was Gohan Child. He is a technical character, so of course he is another one of your support fun characters. His concept is 2 warriors are stronger than 1. Strengthen yourself and your allies with a friendship boost. So the power of friendship. So passes, friendship boost. Stick close to an ally hero for a certain amount of time to gain both a defense boost and a speed boost, as well as you grant your ally an attack boost. So this guy just absolutely he is such a support. It's not even funny. Like, do not try to go anywhere as Gohan Child by yourself. You need to stick with someone at all points so you get that friendship boost. Something tells me otherwise he will not be good. I don't think this is going to be a top tier pick. I think it's a fun concept idea. I just do not think he's going to be the one for everybody. So if you want to play as Gohan, there you have it. I'm a little sad by that because Gohan's my favorite character, but sometimes you just get the short end of the stick, and that's what Gohan got here. All right, a lot of people's favorite character, Super Saiyan Vegeta. He is a tank. Now, I know that surprises a lot of people. A lot of people thought he'd be an attacker, an attack booster, but he isn't. He is just your normal tank. So, concept, keep hitting an enemy with active skill to boost your endurance. Push your enemies with forced movement. His passive is Prince Pride. When you're below 50% health, gain a shortened cooldown effect. Transform Super Saiyan requirement level 7 and up. So I'm very interested by this because it says keep hitting an enemy with active skills to boost your endurance. What is endurance? Then also push your enemies with forced movement. So it's interesting. So you have to use your abilities to boost your endurance. But when he's below 50% health, he has a shortened cooldown effect, which makes him be able to use his active skills even more to boost his endurance more. So I don't know what endurance means in this sense. I don't know if endurance is going to be a fun... Like, is that going to be the way they end up determining who wins certain clashes? Is if you have more endurance left over? Or I'm not sure how that works. So this whole endurance thing's really throwing me for a loop, and I'm interested to see what it does. But that is all the characters we have here on Dragon Ball Project Multi being revealed before the actual release. So I'm assuming we're going to just drop with 10 characters. I'm excited for it. It's a great roster. Tell me down below who you plan on maining. As always, make sure you do like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the game.